Hi everyone, it's me again, Danielle, and I had a few of you reach out based on the last episode I did asking how do I know if I need to start my holistic health journey and how would I even go about that. And so I've decided to create a video kind of outlining how I went through my holistic health journey. So I wanted to start by painting a picture of what my life looked like in general before these symptoms kicked in at 15. So I was a competitive dancer, danced at least 10 hours a week, every week. I took karate. It was 2 hours of, running miles and laps, and it was very, very intense. But, for the longest time, I felt like I could handle that. I loved to go swimming, especially in the summer, and getting out of the house, being very social. I wasn't really the type of person to just curl up in bed all day. And, on top of this, I had school, and I was very go-getter, doing just fine. But then, I would say the summer of me being 15, I wanted to sleep all the time. It didn't matter. If I went to bed at 9 p.m., I would want to sleep until 12. And that was kind of my parents' first sign. At first they wrote it off as, oh, well, she's a teenager, she's growing, she might need it. But it got to the point where I wouldn't want to leave my room. I would just want to curl up with a book and read. I didn't want to go hang out with my friends. I didn't want to go swimming. And now I'm a lifeguard, so that was a drastic change from my past. What really was crazy to me and also to my parents was I just was gaining so much weight despite going to these karate tournaments and despite constantly competing in dance, which are obviously things I loved, but it didn't make sense. I was eating healthy, I was working out a lot at the gym, I was doing all this activity, and the weight wouldn't stop packing on. And in addition, I was also losing muscle. Once we started realizing the severity of my symptoms, I think we all realized, okay, well, we should do some research. And so the next phase of my journey was we were researching. And obviously, Dr. Google is very unpredictable. You have cancer, you're going to die in 24 hours. Okay, let's take a step back. So we tried to find sources that were reliable. Eventually talked to a friend who happened to be with this amazing integrative health, holistic health doctor. And we found this doctor, this integrative health, holistic health doctor, and he told me to take a body comp, which is body composition analysis test. And it measures things like your weight, your percentage of body fat, your skeletal muscle mass. And it also has segmented lean analysis where it shows your percentage of fat and your percentage of muscle in your left arm, right arm, left leg, right leg, and trunk. And when I took this test, I thought, well, that's strange. My muscle mass is really, really low. We ended up realizing, okay, we should do some blood work. And I know how that sounds. It sounds terrifying. And yes, I've had my fair share of awful experiences with blood draw. However, I did realize a trick throughout my experience, and it's if you get the butterfly needle, which hurts significantly less because it's a smaller needle tip, it'll feel like nothing. You just close your eyes, take a deep breath, boom, it's done very, very quickly. So after my blood was drawn, my doctor was able to analyze the lab samples, and he told me that I have low testosterone, low estrogen, low progesterone, low thyroid, high cortisol, insulin resistance. I was technically pre-diabetic, and I was kind of overwhelmed with all of these, internal issues that I had, which, helped explain many of my external issues. You got them too, maybe. Okay, that's probably why you're watching this video. So let's continue. So he said, you actually probably have PCOS. And, there are different signs for that. Some people have really brittle fingernails. Some people have extreme hair loss. Now, what I realized is that people who have PCOS also typically have very high cortisol levels. And what was interesting in my case is that I didn't really feel stressed. My doctor kept asking me, are these activities making you feel stressed? What makes you think I'm stressed? And he said, well, based on your blood work, you have very high cortisol levels, so we should treat that regardless of, if you feel stressed or not. And that was actually really interesting to learn and know about, but I'm going to discuss cortisol and stress levels in a future episode. I was also diagnosed with hypothyroidism, which means you don't have enough thyroid produced in your body. So while this was all very overwhelming and I was about to have to take a bunch of different supplements and a bunch of different hormones, these are my supplements. Every single one. Just remember, you don't have to solve every single issue at once. You can take it step by step and don't try to fix absolutely everything at once. So if I didn't solve everything at once, what did I start with? Well, I know we had to get the core hormones back into balance if we could. So I think to start, I took thyroid and testosterone. Testosterone? Yes, even women need testosterone. Some women not so much. And then there were some supplements such as berberine, which kind of helps with your insulin resistance. And those are the 3 core medications that I started with, and those helped me significantly. I felt a lot more confident in myself because I was actually able to lose weight, and not muscle, but fat, for the first time in many, many years. It's taken me a little while to get here, but I feel so much better. To be honest, even up to a few months ago, I was still struggling with my insulin resistance and losing weight, and I didn't know what to do until very recently. My doctor and I actually found a wonderful solution that has helped me so much. It's been very beneficial, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys in a future episode.